Hello everyone, welcome back to Ebasiq Tutorials. I'm Chandra Girish, and in today's Django deep dive episode, we will explore how routing works using Django URLs and how to uh, render web pages using templates. So by the end of this episode, you will be building your own web pages with a clean professional structure. Okay, so let's dive in. I hope you can see screen. So here, make sure uh, you have virtual environment installed already. If not, you need to install the virtual environment. Okay. And also, you need to set up the environment for Django. So let's see some the steps. So first step, in my previous episodes also I have explained this. So first is pip install virtual environment. So if it is not installed, you have to create the virtual environment for Django project. Okay. So I have created a folder. Inside that, I have set up I'm trying to install the virtual environment. Because it is already there in my system, it is saying requirement already satisfied. Okay, now once virtual environment is installed, then so we have to create in our project folder, we have to create the virtual environment. Okay, for that we use command. So type Python space hyphen m space what v and our virtual environment name. Press enter. So this will create the virtual environment on inside your folder. So let's wait for a few seconds. This will install the virtual environment in your system. So now that is done. If you can check with a dir command, so it is listing the virtual environment directory. Okay. So now the next step is you have to activate that virtual environment. So go to inside the virtual environment and list out the files you can see. So CD scripts go inside this. And if you see, there is a activate file will be there. So just type activate and press enter. Now the virtual environment is activated. Whenever the virtual environment is activated, you can see a prompt before prompt like this. Okay, the virtual environment name it will display. Now go back to your original project folder. Now what we have to do, we have to make sure Django is installed. So pip install Django. Okay, so in this virtual environment, we will install the Django framework. So once that is done, then we will follow the next steps. Still installing. Okay. So now it is installed successfully. Now what you have to do, you have to create a Django project. So for that, what we can say, Django -admin start project by project. Django -admin start project by project. Okay. So this by project is a project name. So now it will create the project complete structure, and you see a by project folder separately. Okay, if you list out the there, so you have a by project separately like this. Okay, now go inside this by project. Okay, now you can see different files. If you list out minus.py, and we can see by project folder separately here. Okay, so now you have to create a Django application. Okay, so project inside the project, there can be a number of applications will be there. For that, what we have to do, say Python manage.py, okay, and start app, and you can say by app. Okay, by app is your project. Sorry, it is a application inside the project. So now your by app will be created inside the by project. Just wait for a few seconds. Yeah. Now if you list out, now you see there is a by app and there is a by project. All project related settings will be there in this by project. And manage.py will be there. Okay. Now we have to make sure by app is added in the installed underscore apps in by project settings.py file. Okay. So for that, what we have to do, let us open this in Visual Studio. 1 second. Visual Studio Code. I'm opening. I'll open this project in Visual Studio Code so that it will be easy for us to modify the changes. Okay, I'm opening the okay, I just opened the folder and I'm sharing. Okay, so here is the project. So inside that we have by app and by project. So here inside the settings.py file, what we have to do, we have to make the changes. So here go to installed apps. So here you need to change the name. Wait, I mean, you need to add your by app here. Okay, so then the project will recognize your applications. Okay, so that is the step we have to do. Now, let us run the development server and see how it displays. So first thing, you have to save the file. Make sure you save the file. And to run this, what you have to do, Python manage.py and run server. So this will run the Python Django server, and your Django project will be executed. So for now, because I have not uploaded any database related things, no need to run this Python manage migrate. For now, let us see. We'll run the URL. 1 second. Okay, so here I'm sharing my screen. So if you see here, paste the URL. So now this is your default project. It says the install worked successfully. Congratulations. Like that, you'll get a message. Okay, so now what you have to do? So the next step is now we have run the development server. Now we have to create a views. Okay, so let us create the views. Just 1 second. So go to the My App and Views folder. So My App, this one, and inside that views.py file will be there. So here, what you have to do, just write a home request render and My App home.html and about request return render. The request will come and then My App about.html page. So we are trying to load the about.html and home.html based on the request. So the next step is what we have to do. We have created the views. Now we have to create the templates. So what we have to do inside the My App, create a folder called templates. Okay, and inside templates, create home.html file. Okay, and also create uh, a, what name we have given, home.html file and about.html file. Okay, so this name. Now let us give some HTML markup here for home and as well as for about. So this is for home and for about also we'll create this markup. So save both files. And we have created a template folder inside the My App. And we have created about HTML file and home HTML file. These are simple basic mark HTML files where one will display welcome to home page. Okay, this page is rendered from a Django template. And this is just about us like that. Now the next step is we have to add the app level URLs. So here we have inside the urls.py file, what you have to do, which is inside My App. Okay, here you have to create one file called urls.py file. Okay, so here what you have to do, Django.urls path, we import the views which are we have, and URL patterns inside that add the path for whenever we hit default URL, what should it has to load? That is home page. That is home.html. And if I say about, then load this about.html page. That's what we are trying to say here. So this is app level. So now we have to provide this to the project level. Like these apps, we can have a number of different apps will be there. Okay, so but project level, we have to list out these kind of URLs. So now in the project folder, what we have to do, we have to include the app URL in the project by project urls.py. Okay, so there, what you have to do. So by default, admin will be there. Okay, so now just you have to replace the include by app.urls. So that is your project URLs. So that's it. This will include your project URLs, your app URLs inside this project. Okay, so that is the next step. Now inside the settings.py file, make sure app underscore dirs is uh, listed as true. Okay, this one. Otherwise, it will not read the. It is unable to read the templates folder. So this should be enabled as true. Okay, so Django will look for a templates folder in each app if app underscore dir is true. So which is by default it is true. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to once again run the server. Yeah, this is because this is already running. We'll see whether it will work or not. Okay. Now just to refresh it. Okay, template does not exist. Okay, so I think the path which we have given needs to change. Views. Okay, so here we have created a templates folder, right? So okay, so let's see how it looks. By app not required. Okay, I think okay, because we are inside views, right? So I don't think we need to create separately like this. Let me check. Yeah, now it is working. So no need that path actually. So home.html and about.html. So this is by default, it is loading the home page. Okay, so if you want to go with about, okay, so now what we have to do, and if you see, we have written a code here, the views, right? And in the URLs, we have given a path whenever a user hits about slash, then it should redirect to the about. So that means that about view, okay, here. So what you have to do, so just say about. Now immediately about us page is loading, right? So like that, you can redirect the URL to different pages based on URL routing. Okay, that's what we have done. So to open the home page, we have done just directly open that URL and it is showing us the home page. For about, just we have typed the about. Okay, so this is what for this episode. So whatever we understood how to install the virtual environment and how to create a virtual environment for your separate projects. Okay, and how to activate it, how to install Django, and how to create a project, and how to create an app, and how to set up the URLs, and writing the views code using templates and rendering the dynamic HTML pages. So this is what we have learned today. So if you found this episode useful, do like, subscribe and share it with your friends. So in the next episode, we will learn different concepts on Django. So check the description for the full playlist. Happy Django coding. Thank you. See you in the next episode.